Swordfish.
When we do this one,
movie, yeah.
Let's not go too deep into the plot because I don't know if we'll get out of it.
I don't think that'll be hard, James.
Hello, you are listening to Off Radar, It's a Movie podcast. I'm James Smith, a professional film and video editor.
I'm James Eatock, a freelance writer and illustrator specialising in 1980s cartoons.
And I'm Neil Brock, aka NIGE, the man with two names, former film journalist and currently working in the games industry.
Each week, one of us picks a movie that all three of us either haven't seen in many years or in some cases haven't seen at all.
We each watch the chosen movie, return to the microphone and let you all know exactly what we thought of it.
I'd never really had any interest in watching it and I was proved absolutely right.
I think it's amazing. I really, really love this film.
The film's still a pile of steaming dog shit.
If you fancy joining in and suggesting a movie for us to watch, why not tweet us at Off Radar Podcast
or email us on offradarpod@gmail.com.
If you like what you hear, please subscribe, share, and by all means, leave a review.
For now, strap in, turn the volume up, and let's go Off Radar.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Talking of being excited, we're excited because we're back on Off Radar. Hello, I'm James Smith. And, hello. And there's a giggling, laughing James Eatock.
Oh, there is. Hello.
Hello. And Neil Brock.
Hello.
Oh. Huh? Oh, we got nothing.
Oh, was he here?
Well, I was going to do like a Vinnie Jones accent, but I couldn't. I couldn't place it. All right, Gav. All right, Gaz, I'm going to grab your balls.
It's been emotional.
It's been emotional. He says a lot less in this.
One line.
Yeah. And we call him NIGE. And welcome back to this podcast.
Vinnie Jones.
We call NIGE Vinnie.
Don't call me NIGE.
Don't call me NIGE.
I'm a boy NIGE.
Today we're doing a film that came out in 2001. And I remember on our end of season leaderboard, one of the stats being that we haven't done very many films in the early noughties, so it's good to step into that.
Why? Don't say that.
And this film,
I was about to say that. I thought, no, don't say it.
Don't give it away.
Don't give it away.
But this film is called Swordfish, and
it is.
It was recommended by friend of the pod, friend of yours, NIGE. Knowlesy, was it?
Muppet Christmas Carol superfan.
Oh, it was Muppet.
Knowlesy.
Oh, we're expecting a 10 then, are we?
Wow. I've not actually read his review yet, so I'm very intrigued to read this towards the end.
I'm looking forward to that myself.
And smith my way over his lovingly typed out message. So.
Yes. But before we get into this film, had we seen this before? Eatock, you seen this?
My friend and I, this was during the time when my friend and I would go to the cinema every week. And this film, we were actually, no, don't use that word. We were looking forward to this movie. I'd read in Empire about it. It was like, this is going to be a big movie. It was one of the shots that one of the things they talked about was like there's an opening shot where they use bullet time better than the Matrix, and I was like, well, this sounds like it's going to be the coolest movie ever made.
Oscar winner Halle Berry in it as well, of course.
Did you see it at the cinema then?
I saw it at the cinema. Me and my friend sat there. We watched it, and
had you seen it since? Okay. Had you seen it since the cinema?
No, Nige.
Oh, wow. NIGE?
Oh, you lucky thing. You had
Don't spoil the ending.
Yeah, I did. Probably, again, around the early noughties, maybe like 2002, 2003. I can't remember if... It's one of those things that I think a lot of people go around asking themselves, when did I first see Swordfish? And I can't remember if it was on DVD or VHS.
When did I first eat swordfish? I think that's what you're confused. It's just a conversation.
My brother used to work for Blockbuster Video. So we used to get lots of like cheap rentals or stuff like that. So I imagine someone just got it from there because Travolta wasn't that far past his like Pulp Fiction renaissance. Halle Berry just won an Oscar for Monsters Ball. Hugh Jackman had just sort of come off of the first X-Men movie.
Vinnie Jones had been in Snatch.
Stock.
Lock, Stock and Snatch. So there was a little bit of, like, I remember, similar to you, Eatock, there was buzz about this film. So yeah, I was intrigued to see it. And I think it was the same director that had done like Gone in 60 Seconds. And there was a little bit of a run of those kind of types of films. So yeah, I was intrigued to see it. And although I hadn't had the opportunity to see it since back in the early noughties.
Now, Nige, you're lying there because you said, I haven't had the opportunity. You've had an opportunity every day of your life. You've made a decision not to watch it.
It's not on YouTube for free, so how else could I watch it? So, or maybe it is.
You don't own the Blu-ray, Nige. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
Well, before I get to how I first saw it, it's funny, I was around my dad's house at Christmas and he was like, I've been going through all my DVDs and I've got a few doubles, do you want any? I was like, let me have a look, because obviously we do a lot on the podcast, and one of the doubles was Swordfish.
Damn,
and
I
was like, Dad, I remember us watching Swordfish on DVD, one of the first DVDs like I'd ever seen. I think I might have said it on the pod. Like, I think Terminator 2 was my first DVD I saw, and Swordfish was one of the next. So anyway,
it was definitely in that next batch.
It was in the next.
Should we just cut straight to the review?
So before we get to the review, let's firstly say it is directed by Dominic Senna, who, as you said, directed Gone in 60 Seconds with Nick Cage, which was around that time. He also did California, you remember that, with Brad Pitt?
With David Duchovny. We've mentioned this a few times.
Yeah, we have,
and Juliette Lewis and Brad Pitt.
I don't know why we always... Well, anyway. So, but
I don't actually think I've seen all of it. So
loads since, really. Like,
surprisingly, his career, after a few duds, Season of the Witch with Nicolas Cage, I think in 2011 was his last one, they didn't let him make any more films. So he kind of just walked away from making films. But he did sort of cut his teeth, so to speak, doing a lot of music videos, including
that doesn't surprise me in
the Top Gun anthem. So there you go. That's a good one to have on your CV.
Wow.
The Pleasure Principle by Janet Jackson. What are good songs on this list? There's a lot. Like, he must have done like 30.
So he's gone into music. Wow.
No, that was previously. That was like leading up from between, I think it was like 1985 and 1993. He was quite prolific. I'm trying to find. Oh, come on. He did No Easy Way Out by Robert Tepper.
What?
Oh, wow.
And Don't Walk Away by him as well. And
classics.
Little Lies by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, no. He directed the music video for that?
Yeah. Rhythm Nation by Janet Jackson.
Wow.
I Don't Want to Lose You, Tina Turner. So, yeah, there's a few things in there.
Wow, well, there you go. Written by Skip Woods, which is
old Skip.
Old Skippy. He's got to be Australian, but he also wrote the Hitman films, X-Men Origins, the A-Team remake.
So basically, all adaptations of
Arnie film.
X-Men Origins is interesting because I think that was quite a successful film. Because that was the kind of reboot with what's his face in from James McAvoy.
Oh right, was he in that one?
Yeah, X-Men Origins with...
I feel like that's the sort of film that was written by about 9 different people.
Yeah, I was going to say...
X-Men Origins was the terrible Wolverine one that everyone hated.
Oh, there you go.
With Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Kitsch in as Gambit.
Right, okay, so that was that movie.
Well, there you go. And starring, as you've already pretty much said the cast, to be honest. But, yeah... Johnny T. Johnny Travolta.
I was going to say that.
Johnny Travolta.
Johnny T.
We haven't spoken about, but obviously, I don't know, we've never spoken about John Travolta, but you know, like...
We must have mentioned him during Pulp Fiction.
Didn't we do Face Off?
We haven't done neither of those films, have we?
Oh. But didn't we mention Pulp Fiction as part of our favourite films from the 90s?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But you're right, like, this was obviously off the back of the kind of Pulp Fiction research, and then he did stuff like Broken Arrow and Face Off, and like he did a kind of mixture
Battlefield
Earth.
Battlefield Earth. This was about 2 years after that.
So, and then he's kind of went away for a while, and then he came back again. He's had a very odd career, basically. But yeah, Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, Tom Cheadle, Vinnie Jones, and that's about it.
It's a very good cast.
As far as
I was shocked.
The main cast goes, it's very good. Like, Don Cheadle is basically playing exactly the role you expect him to play.
I forgot he was in this movie. Like, I forgot.
At least he didn't have a British accent, I guess.
It's got the woman from like The Sopranos in as well. As Hugh Jackman's ex-wife, and she has quite a small role. But anyway,
I also noticed
Sam Shepard as well.
Sam Shepard, and the guy from The Office is one of the cops, the American Office, I should say.
Oh yeah, old bug eyes guy.
Yeah, he pops up, but he's obviously in it for about a minute. But anyway, NIGE. Swordfish.
Okay, so...
Oh, this is good.
I look forward to this.
The year is 2001. Ball bearings are the most deadly creation known to man. All women wear books topless, and rolling down a hill is crazy. It's an era of the World Wide Web, and when not hanging out in AOL chat rooms, Stanley Hobson, aka Hugh Action, is the world's primo computer hacker. But as an ex-con, he's no longer allowed to communicate with the love of his life, his 10-year-old daughter, Holly. Cry. So living out his best dig-of-the-dump life, Stanley is visited by someone definitely not posing undercover with a name like Ginger Knowles, aka Halle Catwoman Berry, who shows up with a proposition. $100,000 for a meeting and the promise of enough money to legally wrestle back visitation rights with his beloved daughter. Meeting with Gabriel Shear, John, look who's talking Travolta, a man who, speaking of wrestling, has seemingly modelled his look on the wrestler Sting, minus the face paint.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Yeah. Great beard. Stanley is enticed into a world of bank heists, car chases, interactive blowjobs, and the biggest terror of all, Vinnie Jones's acting. With the walls of Don Cheadle-fronted FBI and Travolta's generic naughties gangsters closing in fast, can Stanley hack his way into the mainframe and defeat Y2K technology? Or will he be defeated by his greatest nemesis? His mum wanting to use the phone whilst he's connected via dial-up. ...
Oh my goodness! I think
so good.
I don't think we've ever had a synopsis that actually gives away the review so much.
But also a synopsis that has so many historical references.
That was impressive.
That was really...
Especially from the 90s, the Sting reference and Stig of the Dump, which is an 80s,
I did not
80s
see,
reference.
Did not see that coming.
Who is he? He exists in a world beyond your world. What we only fantasize, he does. He lives a life where nothing is beyond him. He takes what he wants, when he wants. So how do I find him? You don't find him. He finds you. Good job.
I want to go to those opening logos because they look like they're on VHS.
Oh, the little kind of logos.
That's so cool. Because this movie, we're gonna. It's the word I wanted to use over and over again. It's a cool movie.
It is well cool, mate.
So cool.
It's as cool as Hugh Jackman's earring and slightly
go on,
like
Smith,
bronzed hair.
Get to the cool opening with Travolta doing his best.
I'm going to talk about Doctor Afternoon, mate.
Well, that's
a film.
The really confusing
Someone's trying to
thing.
rip off Tarantino.
Yeah, exactly. The confusing thing is John Travolta is playing Samuel L. Jackson playing John Travolta.
That's exactly what he's doing.
And he's like, with Hollywood makes shit. And then he starts critiquing a brilliant film like Dog Day Afternoon, which is and talking about the ending and
it's
stuff.
Pacino's best film, except The Godfather and Scarface.
Yeah. But then you get camera stuff. They do this like kind of tilt shift thing with flares and moving camera,
color graded up the wazoo.
It's kind of got this green haze, and in fact the whole film has got this green haze throughout, like NIGE is sitting in right now. And they also go to like soft oranges at times, but I quite enjoyed that. And then you obviously get the reveal that he's basically like holding up a big.
Well, he's talking about a hostage situation, obviously Dog Day Afternoon, and lo and behold, he's in the middle of a hostage situation.
But you said it in your thingy. You get the obviously the Matrix style explosion when the hostage blows up and loads of police, and that actually did look. I mean, it's obviously 2001, but it did look incredible. That's that massive explosion as it goes, and they obviously did the same kind of Matrix technique. But
I'm not going to deny it. In the cinema, that was cool because they did the old surround. So you had the ball bearings going.
It's like they have that sound thing now, don't they? And before, well, I don't know if they still do, but they used to when they had all the ball bearings drop and it would do the sound as like a pre-cinema advert. You're kind of looking at me like you have no idea what I'm talking about.
No, sorry.
No, I think I know what you mean.
It's like, and again, like ball bearings for some reason were kind of used as a visual and a sound related I don't know, way of signifying it. And
it's.
But it kind of feels like, rather than being like, this is important for the film and it's displaying, it's like, here's something that's really cool.
Oh,
cool.
Absolutely.
Again, like, I'm sorry, that word is going to come up so much. Like, even the intro, like, Smith, I get why you kind of like it, because it's like, oh, yeah, he's kind of deconstructing the script of the great. Yeah, he's actually doing it. But again, it doesn't feel like it's doing it because, oh, that's actually some interesting script writing. It's like, oh, this is cool. The first thing he's saying is Hollywood films are shit. We're watching a Hollywood movie.
Oh yeah,
and it just feels like
it's completely lazy writing. But
it just feels like it's this movie. 3 minutes in is already up its own arse, and then he says the line obviously, and it's just like the groan-inducing eye roll when he goes, audiences love happy endings. I was like, oh yeah. God.
It feels like the sort of film I'd have written when I was 14 and been like, NIGE, I'm quite proud of this.
That's it in a fucking nutshell. Like we're not even reviewing it, but it's that. You were like, the 14-year-old that wrote this, like, I hope he got paid well.
But then we obviously get we won't go into
everyone got paid well on this film, for God's sake. But anyway, sorry.
We get the kind of 4 days earlier thing, but
yeah, of course.
Obviously, we're introduced to Halle Berry very early on in a red dress, which we've spoke about in many films, is the femme fatale thing that they use in films. But in this case, they use it in a very high red dress, and it's like sexualizing women throughout the whole of this film. Oh
my god, misogyny is strong in this film.
Completely outrageous at times, and
unless I'm mistaken, I'm sure Dominic Sena, the director, was from the Jerry Bruckheimer kind of Michael Bay. I think he was actually associated with Jerry Bruckheimer.
Would not surprise me in the slightest.
So it's that kind of that. I'm not even justifying it. It's that era of filmmaking that when we were 18, 19 years old, like Bad Boys with Will Smith, or I'm trying to think of other films, but like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Gone in 60 Seconds, which admittedly I didn't think was the coolest film, but you look back, I'm talking about the Gone in 60 Seconds remake made by Dominic Sena. It was like, oh, this is a cool movie. It's cool, and this is cool, and that's cool, and this is cool. And everything cool is very dated now, like frosted tips, unnecessary nudity. The woman is there literally just to be there like, hey, extra woman, do you want to be in this film to fellate Hugh Jackman? And he's going to be all kind of sexy. Because
I think the woman stood next to him was like a Playboy bunny in real life kind of thing. So it's that kind of cast.
Yeah. It's, I mean, like, again, the Michael Bay... not necessarily Jerry.
Oh, he used to hire people basically because he slept with them, kind of thing. It's like, do you want to run this film? Come and have sex with me. Yeah, Michael Bay and Bruckheimer.
Oh, really?
Wow. Okay.
Kind of known for it. Allegedly, I'll say.
Allegedly, yeah. Let's not get this podcast in trouble. But within the first 20 minutes, the story is kind of set up. Like Smith says, she goes to him, and of course, it's this is the thing. That's the thing that made me laugh. So I don't think the director's name comes up at the start of this. So I never like to read when we were about to do a movie. I remember seeing this. I remembered very little about it, and then much like PTSD, it all came flooding back as I watched this movie. And when we saw the shots kind of very early on where it was sun drenched, I thought to myself, man, this looks really early 2000s. And then I thought to myself, this is not a joke. I thought to myself, this looks exactly like Gone in 60 Seconds, the remake.
Oh, right.
Because, and also, there's a scene later in the film where there's a car chase and they do the exact same gimmick.
No way.
And that was where they're driving through an alleyway across main streets going, don't stop. And I thought to myself, that's where I actually stopped the movie. I stopped the movie and I went on Wikipedia and I was like, holy shit, it's Dominic Sena.
Same guy.
It's the same director. Now, like, don't get me wrong.
You can't see him.
You can't. Oh, that's good,
Dominic, have you seen?
Yeah. No. As in, there's a wrestler called John Cena.
Oh, right.
His whole thing was you can't see me.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the NIGE, just two wrestler references.
I can't help it. Yeah,
It just
reminds me of that era when I was just watching WCW all the time. But anyway,
it's really weird. The Hugh Jackman in this film, right? So he's been in prison for 2 years. Like you said, he's got a daughter that they're gonna eventually kidnap.
The guy he's playing, not actually.
Yeah. I should make. Although Hugh Jackman probably has as well. But anyway,
he used to be a teacher, mate. Come on, he was a PE teacher in Aussie schools.
Confused with the other Aussie.
You're not thinking of Sting, the musician, are you?
No, but
it's not Australian.
But
I'm just laughing at
the crazy thing about him is, he lives in this kind of like caravan type thing, and basically he's bought into this John Travolta's plan. I don't even know what John Travolta's character's called. Let's call him John. Gabriel, of course it is. Gabriel, such a Tarantino name, isn't it? His name is Gabriel. But anyway, Hugh Jackman's casting is so off because, for me, like, Hugh Jackman just doesn't suit this casting of being like this computer hacker. And for most of this...
Sorry, Smith. No, you're wrong. It's cool because it subverts expectations.
Oh, I see.
He's a sexy hacker.
I wanted
He's a sexy hacker and you can't see it because you don't know good filmmaking when it bites you on the arse.
Yeah, I do feel like Hugh Jackman's career after this film has kind of shaped our interpretation of who Hugh Jackman is. Yes. I didn't realise that he obviously got cast for X-Men, which was the one film he had done before this, on recommendation from like Russell Crowe, who they wanted to play Wolverine. He was like, "Oh no, but I know this guy. You should hire him." Hugh Jackman.
Wasn't it?
There was a couple of people who were
the guy who played it in Mission Impossible 2, the baddie in that.
Dougray Scott. But he pulled out, and they wanted Russell Crowe. Originally, whilst I was digging through trivia for this film,
Danny DeVito.
Quite a challenge. No, it was Bob Hoskins. They wanted to play Wolverine in like I think it was like a late 80s version. But anyway,
imagine that.
So Hugh Jackman had done very little before this film, so it's kind of a big leap. Obviously, if you're playing Wolverine, it kind of gives you that extra credence to actually do something like this. But he's a good-looking guy, and like you say, he's quite big and buff, and he doesn't seem like your archetypal computer hacker, geeky,
sexy
whatever.
Hacker.
But then everyone in this film is...
His character doesn't either, though.
But everyone in this film is sexy and makes no sense
Smith,
at all.
are you guys watching the same film? There were scenes of him typing on the keyboard really fast that, if you ask me, convince me he is a full-time hacker.
I love that computer setup when all these like fat CRT style, like old school monitors, and it's like, oh my god, there's like 6 of them.
There's 6 screens. I've never seen anything.
And they've all got like green text on because that's what computers are like.
It's amazing how like overly clever and complicated they try to make the script to the point where you're like, wait a minute. So he's a baddie, but he's doing it because he wants to kill the terrorists, but he's a goodie, but he's a baddie. And you're on the side of the baddie.
Didn't he go to jail because he was trying to do some good hacking that went wrong?
It's like,
I can't even remember.
Are you Robin Hood or are you Maid Marian? I mean...
no, she was cool. Maid Marian and a Merry Man.
I didn't have a comparison. Cool. But there's so much jumping around at the start as well. So we go to all the different characters. So we see John Cheadle in his suit, like doing a kind of good cop impersonation. Travolta is basically dressed like he's dressed in Pulp Fiction. Even, like you said, like a wrestler that I have no idea who he is. But to me, he looks like the same character as in Pulp Fiction. His hair is slicked back, but he's got a really bad bit of facial hair that I think they might have even...
as well, I think.
Yeah, I think they even draw it on at one point because I reckon the continuity was wrong or something.
I couldn't tell what was worse, his little beard or Hugh Jackman's earring. It was like, it's such a...
But we've got to talk... When you talked about the sexualization of women, there's
Christ,
obviously...
fucking insane.
I remember this being so huge at the time. So Halle Berry obviously gets her boobs out. But I remember... at the time, it being like huge news, like it was like nude Berry. Well, and it was basically a pull for the film.
Because I think she got paid like a ridiculous amount to be topless in it. Yeah, because she was like, I'm not going to do that unless, and they paid her. And I remember in the cinema, again, one of those moments you don't forget watching a movie. My mate sat there, and she's reading the thing, and she pulls the magazine down and to reveal she's topless. And my mate and I just went, what? Because it just felt, it wasn't
the
like
the least sexualized scene in cinema history.
It really is. It's not like she comes out dripping out the shower and you're like, wow, that's hot, with like that gaudy bloody orange glow of the sunset. It's nothing like that. It's literally just like I've got my baps out, lads, while I'm reading a magazine. It's like, right, even though the sun is technically behind you, so what's the? I don't get it. Do you know what? Like watching it again, I thought that's a fucking cool scene.
That's really cool.
You're going to say
Really
that.
cool.
Talking of cool,
how could we
the
not?
music is very cool.
At the end, it's got that fucking song.
It felt like John Wick had watched this film and gone, hey, we should probably try and do something like this, because it's like this like an electronic kind of... It's almost like
reminds me of every trailer from like the early noughties. Like that one that's like, you wouldn't rob a car, but you will pirate videos
exactly
or whatever it was. It's...
Paul Oakenfold did some of the music. You remember him? He's like a dance.
Yeah, of course. Paul Oakenfold did some bangers, mate. So.
He did, but yeah, he did some of it. But
I hope he got paid very well.
I'm sure he did. But the other thing we get is Ginger Halle Berry being like, well, she says she's DEA, but then obviously, spoiler alert.
She also says she's good at golf, and she does the worst golf swing I've ever seen. They cut it to the ball going miles, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think she did that.
Yeah, because basically Hugh Jackman, I can't remember his name.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh.
Frosty Tips.
Frosty
It's a really weird name as well. What is this fucking... It's like Spencer or something.
No, what's it? Smith?
Stan.
No, is it Stan or is it
Stanley?
Stanley, I think it is Stanley.
Not Stan Lee.
Stanley Jobson.
The
names in this film are just... It's like...
Jobson.
He does a job. He's a son.
That doesn't sound real. Stanley Jobson sounds more like a Garbage Pail Kids sticker. But Stanley, he walks in on Halle Berry, who of course is half naked. She's got a lingerie on because he just happens to walk in the room, catching her changing. Then decides, he sees that she's wearing a wire, and it's like, oh my god. Starts chatting to her, takes the wire off her just as Gabrielle, John Travolta, walks in behind. And
it's such a tense scene.
Oh, it's amazingly tense, but it's cool as well because like you get this three-way. It's like, what's going on here? Like, does John Travolta? Because at one point Stanley says to Halle Berry, "I thought you belonged to him," and she goes, I forget what she says, something cool, and
I'm tied down to one man.
Something like that. It probably is.
I ain't getting on no plane.
I ain't getting on no plane. So getting on no plane. I did not see that coming. But she's prepared to get on a helicopter.
It's true.
So yeah, this
and a bus.
She isn't. But hang on, what follows next is one of the greatest scenes in cinema history. So one of many in this movie, where Stanley leaves the house. And he goes to try and I think he sees his daughter who's dressed like a really weird, strange-looking woman.
I thought she was like blind or like doing a Cyclops impression. It was very weird.
She's got weird coloured specs on, glasses, but she's dressed with like a boa and a hat. And it's like, that's not even what children were wearing in the year 2001. So where's this child? I think what the twist is
the
Sydney
child's
is a
DEA.
hacker, but he's
the child is DEA.
She's a fucking She's a time traveller. So she's come from like the distant future, Andromeda, and
that's a different
movie altogether. But yeah, it was like, what's she wearing? But then anyway, he tries to, I forget what happens.
It doesn't matter.
And then there's an amazing scene where they run down a hill.
That is amazing. They're like rolling for ages, and then it's like it turns into like a slip and slide for a bit.
It's about 2 minutes.
And I'm just like, they're rolling down a fucking hill.
But it's not even a hill, it's a cliff. They would die.
It's a cliff,
instantly.
yeah, let's be honest, yeah.
He jumps
die.
off a cliff, and then, I don't know, there's like a weird bit with some fly fishing, and John Travolta says, fly fishing.
Later, isn't it?
It's a lot later, but I didn't have any other notes up until that point.
Smith's just going from his notes now. Everyone listen to my notes.
I've just got in capital letters, longest hill fall in history of cinema.
It's very weird.
And then after that I'm just going by my notes now.
Machine
hacking
gun.
montage, groan, and then I've got in brackets Captain Frosted Tips.
Do you fancy sending us a film to review or letting us know your thoughts on a film that we have discussed? All of your comments will be read out in our end of season leaderboard episode. Email us on offradarpod@gmail.com. Tweet us at offradarpodcast. Message us on Facebook. All links and info in the description down below.
Do it! Do it!
There is one scene where John Travolta stands up with two guns and shoots randomly. We can't forget that
in the
scene.
car scene. And then he's like, so it's really weird. He's got like a TVR anyway, which is like a really like classic British car. I remember it being in the original Gran Turismo. They never sold it in America. So someone like went out of their way to be like, this guy drives a TVR. And then they're like, let's going to do a scene where they're driving down the road and some cars randomly show up, and basically he's like blackmailed a senator, or he's not doing a job for a senator, so they're going to kill him. And the bloke from the OC's his like wingman. It's really weird. Again, some more random noughties casting, and then he like shoots them in like a Christ the Redeemer type pose, and then they pull up, and he pulls out like a feck off like Predator style Gatling gun type
it's a Gatling
thing.
gun, you're right, yeah.
And just cars are exploding and everything's going crazy. But what I love about the car chase is that some of the bits they're driving and cars have just like parked. And it's like, oh yeah, it's not going to like drive through and he drives through us. We're just going to sit there whilst they just drive past. And it's just like, where's the tension of this scene? And you think, how much money did they spend on this scene?
I like you. You're on my good side. But don't confuse kindness with weakness.
When was Ocean's 11 made? That was around this time,
I would have said that's
right?
a bit later, like 2008,
I would have said
2009.
No, I would have said 2000 and...
Must have been around this time. So for me, like...
I would say 2003.
Because there's like hints... okay. Well,
Oh, no, it was 2001.
Oh, okay.
Same year.
Wow, okay,
Christ.
nice.
I'm
Smith,
shocked
you're
by that.
on point. Why'd you say that, Smith?
Well, this is much later in the film where they actually are about to go and attack the World Bank or whatever they're doing. In Ocean's 11...
Taking you back to the beginning as well.
Yeah, take you
building
back to
that
the beginning.
suspense. You're like, I can't wait to come back to this and find out what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what I really enjoyed about Ocean's 11 at the time was where they go, right, this is the plan. Now we're going to go through it, and then you kind of like map it all out and you get that suspense because you're in on it as the audience. In this film, you basically just ram through a load of glass and then you're back to the beginning, and there's none of that. But I feel like it's taken bits of like lots of different films. So it's taken a bit of Ocean's 11, a bit of like Matrix, a bit of fucking...
A lot of Matrix.
Yeah, a lot.
It's trying to be so many other films.
But with the script kind of jumping all around. One thing we haven't talked about... Sorry, I'm jumping around now. Vinnie Jones... He's so bad in this. It's a shame because I remember
he's great in
when
Lockstock.
I was going to say Lock, Stock was earlier.
Snatch
was earlier, and you're like, man, this guy can act. But what's happened? I mean, no one can act in this. It's obviously
I
the
tell
script,
you what,
right?
like,
But
again, it's Dominic Sena hiding for Gone in 60 Seconds, and again, that was stunt casting where it's like, oh my goodness, Vinnie Jones is in like a big Hollywood movie opposite Nick Cage, and
Juggernaut in X-Men, wasn't he?
Yeah, Juggernaut in X-Men in Brett Ratner's X-Men, and it's And Angelina Jolie was a rising star at that point. You're like, wow, like Vinnie Jones is opposite these Hollywood kind of... He's made it. And the gag was, oh, he's okay at acting, so he's going to have one line. And I think he even says, I think the line in Gone in 60 Seconds is, it's been emotional.
He says the same line.
Oh no, he gives a speech and everyone goes like, hey, motherfucker, I didn't know you could speak, or something like that. It's just like, oh. And in this film, it's a very similar thing.
Yeah,
it's like,
he's just a goon.
I'm going to say a really threatening line, and then it's just like, Vinny, mate,
he just
go
didn't
back
need
to England and do good movies, which he has subsequently done.
Absolutely, he's in that Gentleman series and film, and in the series particularly.
So stick with Guy Ritchie is what you're saying.
Basically, just work with Guy Ritchie.
Sometimes it works.
It's really weird because you said like obviously jumping around a lot.
Yeah.
Like, this film is a series of set pieces.
Yes,
but a lot of the set pieces aren't very good.
Yeah,
which
I mean, they're cool.
Well, they are really cool, and I've got to emphasise that. But it's like that. Yes, there's a nice camera shot, whatever. There's the rolling down the hill, which is exceptional. There's the car chase. Then you're back at the bank, and then towards the end, there's a crazy scene with a helicopter and a
two
bus.
Helicopters,
and I don't even know what's going on. And it's just like,
well, the helicopter lifts the bus up.
What the fuck is going on?
Well,
they're like randomly, like they've murdered his ex-wife and the porn guy, and I'm just like, what is going on? And then his daughter, it's like, his daughter's running out the bank, and Vinnie Jones is just like, yeah, I'm not really going to do anything about that. And it's just
Halle Berry gets killed.
Yeah, they're hanging her for a bit, and then they shoot her.
There's that really weird scene where he basically says, Hugh, as you said, Hugh Grant.
Hugh
That'd have been an
Bonneville.
interesting choice. Hugh Bonneville says, no, Hugh Jackman says, like, I'm not doing this anymore. And he goes, right, well, we've got a hostage, your daughter. And he goes, okay, well, I'm going to do it. So he starts hacking, but he does like a secret hack. So then as Hugh Jackman's leaving with his daughter, and suddenly all the money starts going
it's
out
like,
the accounts.
you screwed us.
You've tricked us. So they bring him back in. They're like, the daughter goes. So they're like, right, now we're gonna. And he's like, well, what are you gonna make? I'm not.
But he was like, oh yeah, I did that hack, but it was supposed to happen in 6 hours, but it happened now. All right. What is going on?
I thought you were a good hacker, Frosty Tips. So then, then you see, like, he's like, I'm not gonna redo this for you. And he's like, well, we're gonna kill Halle Berry, the actress Halle Berry. And he's like, what? He's like, you can't kill Halle Berry.
The one who got her boobs out? No.
The one who got boobs out for like a 10 grand. So that's $5 a boob. So he starts typing away, and he does the hack again. So now it's like, did we need any of that? And then they kill her anyway. Halle Berry's dead. Yeah. That's the end of that.
Shame.
Or is she?
No.
Oh my God! Because
we're going to go to Monte
we get
Carlo.
a series of scenes. Before we get to that amazing ending, we get the most. This scene makes Fast and Furious set pieces look logical. Where
yes, that was around this time as well, actually.
It just started, but it hadn't got stupid as far as I know.
The first one was probably.
It knew its role, and then it got stupid.
Yeah, 2001 as well.
2001.
What a year! We should only ever review films from 2001 from this.
Yeah, 2001. What an odyssey!
I wonder what won Best Picture in 2001 at the Oscars.
Let me guess. It was like Bad Boys 2 or something.
Bad Boys for Life. You carry on whilst I look it up.
So the coach with the hostages is now driving away, and John Travolta's got a backup plan. So they think they're driving them to the airport, and it's all about, because he said earlier in the movie, it's all about misdirection, and audiences love happy endings. Blah blah blah.
I wonder if there's going to be any misdirection in this film.
This is all about misdirection.
This is also fucking tenuous. So then the helicopter, this specific helicopter, picks up the coach, and then, because this is such a well thought out plan by Gabriel, who's like apparently got a genius level IQ they keep talking about throughout the movie.
And don't forget, he's misunderstood, because actually the things he's doing that are bad, he's doing for good reasons.
He's doing for good reasons. Sorry, we forgot that.
He's a grey area. He's not just bad.
Yeah, he's not just a bad guy. He's doing things for the greater good. There we go.
Yeah.
But the expert IQ man didn't factor in the fact that the helicopter is going to be carrying a coach over a city. So they crash into buildings, because guess what? In a city, wind builds up, and it doesn't just. There's no lack of wind in a city. Winds cascade around buildings. Anyway, the helicopter. Suddenly, the coach is just hanging now. So everybody's falling out the coach and exploding because they've got
Vinnie Jones,
including Vinny. Yeah.
Vinnie Jones gets blown up because
I
do
like
the way that hostages just randomly blow up, and they're like,
just randomly blows up.
The hostages don't really matter in this.
No, they really don't in this film. There's
when you look at them, you're like, they're all extras. So it's like, Jeopardy is not there for the hostages.
There's no stakes. There's no like, oh, my wife's got a bomb vest on or anything like that, because they've already killed her.
The only human story they try to put in is Jackman's daughter, basically. That's the
I felt like Hugh Jackman's golf swing was going to develop as the film.
I thought that was going to be a character, but at the end. No, but then what we get is
John
the coach
Travolta went to a hairdresser.
No, the coach. You're jumping ahead, Smith, in this fantastic movie.
I want you to get to the end of this.
The coach lands on the top of the building, because you're missing the fucking epic ending where Hugh Jackman, the hacker, is so experienced. He pulls out a rocket launcher. He knows how to use one. He knows how to use, because he sees a rocket launcher in the coach. So he gets a rocket launcher out of the coach. They're escaping John Travolta on another helicopter, not the same another helicopter. We've got another helicopter. We just
Whilst Don Cheadle tries to get up there on the lift, he's like, where's the cargo lift? The cargo lift's around the back. This is really pertinent to this story.
Blimey, Barney Rubble. And then the helicopter takes off. Hugh Jackman knows how to use a rocket launcher. Explosion, end of movie, everyone's dead, hooray, happy ending. But as we were teased at the start, because this fucking movie's so cool, happy endings, just a Hollywood construct. So yeah, in the end, the baddies are in Monte Carlo. Who do we see?
Whoa, because he has a flashback at the morgue, and he's like,
the usual suspects.
I'm remembering it, and he's like, he just ran round the corner and went down the stairs, which I saw because I flashbacked it, but I forgot.
And not only that, there's been a silicon John Travolta that he sees.
Who was the best actor in this film?
He was
by the
amazing.
way.
Yeah,
the silicon John Travolta.
Silicon John Travolta.
I think they even do a
NIGE.
coffee cup smash, do they?
They may as well do. They may as well just
do.
nick scenes from...
When they go into the building and they're like,
Yeah,
oh my God, there's
like,
a big
bang.
bus coming at us.
Smash, and they do a smash.
and then the film ends. Halle Berry's alive.
Halle Berry.
John Travolta's
Ginger.
got contact lenses.
John Travolta's got short blonde hair like I used to have.
And they all live happily
the
ever after.
password is Swordfish.
I have been told that the best crackers in the world can do this in 60 minutes. Unfortunately, I need someone who can do it in 60 seconds. You're kidding. Go! 45 seconds. You're gonna get these people killed! 20. Who are you?
I'm not what you think I am.
More time. Come on, stand. 15. I think that you think I'm a bank robber. The truth is that I'm worse.
Control, be advised that this is now an aerial pursuit.
Hold on. 3, 2, 1. Too bad. You gotta die. No, wait. Not everything ends the way you think it should.
John Travolta, Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, and Don Cheadle. Swordfish.
Trivia.
I've got some trivia. On the DVD, on the back cover, it says, as an extra, DVD chapter points.
Oh, wow.
Have you got this on DVD?
No,
Has everyone got a copy of this on DVD?
I'd love it if we all did.
It must have had a huge budget, right, NIGE?
So it cost $102 million to make.
Wow.
What?
And made $147 million back.
Well, I'm surprised about that. It is cool.
So they made the money. John Travolta, fantastic actor that he is, was nominated for a Razzie this year. Oh, by the way, the film that won 2001 Oscar was Gladiator as well, beating off...
I mean, this and Gladiator, very similar movies.
Beating off this, yeah.
beat Traffic, Erin Brockovich, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Chocolat.
Okay. There were some good films that year, but only about four
I'm
of them.
surprised Swordfish didn't win.
But he got nominated for a Razzie for this and Domestic Disturbance, which like, was that anyway? But he lost. He didn't win. So who do you think beat him for Razzie in 2001?
Halle Berry.
We're never going to guess. No, it was Tom Green for Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh, Freddy Got Fingered.
Daddy, will you get some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages? If you've ever seen Freddy Got Fingered. But he did actually win the year before for Battlefield Earth and Lucky Numbers. So, but John Travolta almost escaped this because he did turn down the part of Gabriel 6 times. You would have thought after the first 5, he was like, maybe not.
Just give me some more money.
But he actually changed his mind when he heard director Dominic Sena's take on it, and that Travolta believed Gabriel is a man who believed bad things has to be done for the greater good, and that his character is less black and white, more grey. I would have said more like brown, like shit, but that's another thing entirely.
That's just colour grading. Oh, God.
Halle Berry agreed to the topless scene because she wanted to overcome her fear of doing nude scenes, and it had nothing to do with the vast amounts of money she was
They
paid
gave her
for.
a lot of money.
There was also
half a million or something for that.
Well, there was an alternate version of her wearing a bikini, but yes, there were rumours that she was paid $500,000.
Jeez.
But she denied the rumours and said her breasts were worth far more than that. And it was actually supposed to be like 3-take deal done, turned into a 3-day shoot, largely because of the weather, not the perving crew, although God knows. And she kind of said, in fairness to her, like the nudity thing scared her to death, but it's something she overcame. And
I don't have an issue with her doing it. I have an issue with the fucking thing being in the movie. It doesn't make sense. It's only there because it's cool, and it is cool.
She won a Razzie in 2005 for Catwoman and became the first actress to do so, also the first Oscar winner to appear at the Rammies. Upon accepting the award, she actually said, "Thank you, and I hope to God I never see you guys again." Fair play for her doing that.
Yeah. No, regardless of this movie, the people that are in this movie are, for the most part, good actors. Let's be honest.
They are.
Halle Berry is
terrible in it, but
is accomplished, and whenever I've seen her in interviews, she always seems like a really good sport, and like NIGE said, she attended the Razzies, and she's she strikes me as like a pretty good lass. She's all right in my book. She's just in this movie,
but this film as well, like 2001, as we kind of mentioned, it was actually withdrawn from cinemas not long after it was released. So it might have actually made more money than it eventually did, because shortly afterwards was, of course, the terrorist attacks in September 11th.
Wow.
And there's a very prominent scene in this movie where
the helicopters and buildings,
there you go. And we know about the Spider-Man trailer that I think we talked about previously in an older pod. So yeah, it's quite interesting how that it could have actually made more money, God forbid.
I doubt it.
So we talked about the dramatic explosion. At the time, that explosion was the most complicated visual effect in the history of Warner Brothers, at least. Used, obviously, Matrix-like effects a couple of years later. And apparently the effect had so many composites that the producers and directors of the film could not determine what was real and what was created by computer. But then they couldn't tell the difference between John Travolta and the John Travolta dummy, so I wouldn't have necessarily gone with those guys for that kind of information. But like John Travolta, obviously like super well known for Saturday Night Fever, turned down like roles in like Splash, Apollo 13, Forrest Gump as well. Wow. So he got offered those roles, like was famed for like dancing with Princess Diana at the White House party in like 1985. But John Travolta is a man with strange taste. His most favourite director to work with, apparently, was none other than Sylvester Stallone for Staying Alive in 1983, which is renowned as one of the worst films ever because Stallone knew how to make him look the best on screen. He was also a big fan of Hugh Jackman. They used to sing like show tunes on the set, which is just what you need for that kind of film, like singing songs from Oklahoma. It seems a bit mad. But he did actually pretty much do someone a massive favour during this film, because Vinnie Jones was going to do a stunt at one point, to which Travolta grabbed him and was like, you don't need to do this stunt, don't do it. Got the stuntman to do it instead. During the stunt, the wire broke. The stuntman fell close to 70 feet and broke his spine. So that could have been Vinnie Jones, and Travolta saved the day, really. So, wow. So yeah, it could have been an even more devastating film for a number of other reasons. Surprisingly, the actors were all reacting to blank computer screens. The graphics were added later.
I
thought it was all legit.
So did I.
It was all legit. It's such good acting.
And we talked a little bit about Hugh Jackman. Actually, John Cusack and Val Kilmer were considered for that role before he took it, but they wanted someone who didn't have that kind of baggage. I think it wasn't that long after The Saint for Val Kilmer, so probably wasn't as good. Although, why you wouldn't have cast John Cusack, I have no idea.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just more suited. But
he would have.
Yeah, it's very strange. And Halle Berry as well. Obviously, she had a sort of checkered history in some respects. She turned down the role of Speed that went to Sandra Bullock. She was in like Gothica with Robert Downey Jr. I don't know if you remember that. And at one point, he like grabbed her arm in the scene and ended up breaking it, and she like broke her arm, and it's just horrendous. She almost died from choking on a fig whilst filming Die Another Day, possibly one of the worst Bond films. And Pierce Brosnan actually had to save her life. So yeah, it's a very, very strange film with a lot of very strange cast members. Two last bits of trivia. One is the bus scene, where the bus wires get sort of cut and it's swinging and poor old Vinnie Jones falls to his demise. They actually shot it by hiring a group of people to sit on a bus in front of a blue screen whilst they actually swung the bus from a crane. And all the stunt coordinators were like, you could have just done that for like half the cost. You didn't need to swing it from a crane. But that was this kind of film where they were like, we're going to throw some money at it and it's going to be even better. So
it's talking like a Hollywood exec there. I like that.
Exactly, yeah. And then there was a rumour that spun out of this film that Thomas Jefferson, obviously a very famous American, once shot a man on the lawn of the White House for treason. Never happened, but because it was said in this film, it was actually considered as a political truth and has been since spouted by many political figures and historians even. So there you go. So Swordfish is apparently part of history.
There you go. Inspired the musical Hamilton.
It inspired the musical Hamilton. So I've got Knowlesy's review here. So here we go.
Thank you, Knowlesy.
This is a long one. So thank you, Knowlesy. So firstly, apologies to both of the Jameses. For a long time, I have jokingly thrown this film into conversation when NIGE, former film journalist and currently working in the games industry, has asked for podcast suggestions, and it seems he's finally called my bluff and actually reviewed it. The first words spoken in this film by John Travolta are, the problem with Hollywood is they make shit. Unbelievable, unremarkable shit. That pretty much sums it up for this film, but I will continue. Swordfish is definitely a Y2K film with its trying to be clever, crazy camera angles, out of focus shots, CGI slow motion shots, dark green and muted colours, which are in so many films of this era. Knowlesy knows what he's on about.
Very true.
It's trying too hard to be clever and definitely doesn't stick the landing, much like the bus. I feel like the makers of this film thought they had the perfect recipe with a stellar cast, complicated story with twists and turns, timeline loops and clever reveals, Paul Oakenfold in charge of the music, and Halle Berry's baps. But it really just comes across forced and, again, trying too hard. Yeah. Hugh Jackman's computer hacking montage scene is just painful to watch, with the worst keyboard action in cinematic history, again, trying to be too clever. The cheeseball scene where Hugh Jackman picks up his daughter from school to try and give Hugh Jackman's character some depth and likability feels forced and painful to watch. The car chase, when John Travolta stands up and dispatches the chasers on both sides, is just cheese on toast. The on-foot chase reminds me of something out of Peep Show when the camera with the camera work, then immediately after that when they fall down the cliff, it was something reminiscent of Total Recall. Then at the end of the film, after hacking the bank and blowing up a helicopter in a built-up urban area, Don Cheadle's character pats Hugh on the back and says, "See you around." Yeah, right. Last point to mention is the CGI has not aged well.
No.
It felt like they wanted the ending to twist and shock like The Usual Suspects, but instead it was just the usual Y2K film. It was, however, better than Wimbledon and had Halle Berry topless, so I will give it a very generous 5 out of 10. So he just wanted to finish up by saying, on a personal note, I want to say I absolutely love the podcast. It always makes the Monday commute a pleasure and throws up some great films for me and my wife to watch on movie nights, especially Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, which is now one of our favourite films. Keep up the good work. I love Muppet Christmas Carol. You didn't say that last time. You did say keep up the good work. So thank you, Knowlesy.
Thank you for the review, Knowlesy.
Thank you, Knowlesy. And making us watch such a timeless classic.
I would say one thing, like if you gave me the choice of a bunch of movies and Swordfish was on them, I'd watch it out of the kind of, I kind of want to watch it because I suspect what I'm going to think of this movie. I went in with very low expectations. I just didn't know they were going to go lower.
Carry on.
Well, E-Target sounds like
I'm reviewing, so I'm straight to the review, aren't I? So yeah, let's be honest. Like, there's no sugarcoat. This film is just shit. It's so, like, you can have films of their time, right? Whether that be technology based or mobile phones, for example. We always talk about put a mobile phone in a film from the 80s and suddenly you kill a major plot point or something. The problem with this film is that it's everything about filmmaking from this era that's sort of like dated. It's not necessarily just the story of hacking. Hacking. It just looks like a film from the year 2001, and I don't mean that in a good way. You think of films, there were other films that came out this year, like NIGE referred to them. You said like Gladiator came out maybe the year before or whatever. All these other films come out. Granted, Gladiator was in the hands of like really talented director, but in terms of, I just don't think it needed to be. It didn't need to be this shit, this movie. But I was shocked. And like I say, I kept jokingly using the word cool. But in truth, that's literally all this movie felt like it was trying to do. And I think Nige summed it up best towards the end. It's like a series of set pieces. Big set pieces that are just trying to be cool. Oh, look at this hacking scene, fellatio, cool. Look at this explosion, bank robbery, cool. Look at this helicopter, cool. Look at this car chase, cool. And it's like, oh, don't worry though. There's a bit of character building with Hugh Jackman. What's the character building? He's got a daughter. Okay, is there any more? He can't really see her. Okay, well,
he's got no money.
Okay, this is great. It's just really shit. But and Knowlesy, I think he summed it up really perfect with his, like, I think where he was using the word "it's trying to be clever," I would just say like, it's trying to be cool. I would not watch this movie if I ran a torture camp, and I would not put this movie on to torture people. Because it would be too inhumane. I'd say this is I'm not being hyperbolic. This film is trash. I thank God it's a prime example of why movies like this are no longer made. It's misogynistic. It's fucking crap. I really I'm okay.
What's your rating?
Knowlesy was right. It's better than Wimbledon, so I'm going to give it a 2.
Oh wow,
jeez,
that is low, isn't it?
But it's shit. Sorry.
Wow. Yeah, you know what?
My dad owns 2 copies.
My dad loves it. No, I have no idea if he does. I honestly hadn't seen it since, around that time. So
none of us had.
The only scene I remember is weirdly just that beginning bit with Travolta like staring at the camera in his cool suit and slick back hair. But yeah, for me, these are the notes I wrote down. I won't need to go over what you and Knowlesy so beautifully said. Style over substance. The plot is ultra confusing. Acting is awful. The set pieces are chucked in. It's a slog. I like Travolta's suit, but not his weird facial hair. 3 out of 10.
Oh wow!
Fair.
Was it Smith? Was honestly the notes?
That was my notes of the review. Just of my review.
You did well to get through this, Smith. You hit it well. Oh, dear.
No, I feel like there's a 10 coming from.
Oh, well, why wouldn't there be? It's interesting, kind of like thinking back to this film. I remember the greens. I remember the weird front cover. I remember the bus hanging down. I remember Vinnie Jones being in it and not surviving. I remember Halle Berry, obviously. I couldn't really remember anything else. And one of the best bits for me was when I started it and I saw it was only about an hour and 35 minutes. And I was that's a win. That is good
timeline, yeah.
Because I had no intention of ever watching this film again. But it had sort of lodged itself in my brain of like how to do a film badly. And I think that is one of the... I do think it is like... It's almost like a uniquely... It's got a place in history in the sense of like...
It does.
This is how
Weirdly.
you make a terrible film. Like,
yeah.
All the wrong ingredients. Well, not even to say the wrong ingredients, but it's like saying, oh yeah, we should put bacon with ice cream, or we should... It's just like you get good actors who... Not all of them good actors, some of them good actors, like stunts that they clearly spent a hell of a lot of money on, and you just do it all really badly. And it's just how to really badly make a film. And there's a tiny bit of charm to it from like the idea of like, I love hackers. Oh, I'm using a keyboard, those monitors. Like when he goes into his house and in his little trailer and he's got a giant old school CRT TV, and I'm just like, yes, I love those TVs. And little bits like that. But yeah, it's just shit. It's just a really, really bad film that but I do think it's not so bad that it's good, but it's so bad that it's funny. Like the scene falling down the hill, for God's sake. Like I was just like, what?
The weird thing is, it is still watchable despite it being shit.
So it's not as bad as like the big hit that we reviewed, in the sense of like, it just made me angry. This film just made me like think, what were they thinking? And in fact, like Halle Berry made a fortune out of it. I'm sure it set up Hugh Jackman. I'm sure Travolta made an absolute mint that he then spent on Scientology. So, for many different reasons. But yeah, and the poor director made a couple more films than he was drummed out of Hollywood, quite rightly based on the evidence that was shown here. And like, the scriptwriter as well should be absolutely ashamed.
Well,
But again, I'm sure they got paid handsomely, so every cloud and all that stuff.
Well, Skip was only 14 when he wrote this. So.
Well, there you go.
He's
and like
retired.
Don Cheadle. What?
Where's he gone?
Well, even so, like he was in Traffic, which got nominated for an Oscar.
No,
he was
he's a good actor, but
was he in the first Ocean's 11 or was he first in Ocean's 12? I can't remember.
Boogie Nights, come on,
Boogie
guys.
Nights, yeah. Like this is a guy with pedigree, but Swordfish is a terrible, terrible film. And I get the feeling it's a film that almost no one will go on to discover. I feel like if you were alive when this film came out and you remember it, you were like our age, about 15, between Etok, you were probably a little bit older. But if you were of that kind of age when this came out, in fact, I think I might have been like 18, good God, you will probably remember it as like, oh, yeah, there was a lot of hype about this film. It's pretty bad. But otherwise, I don't think this is a film anyone is going to go back and discover. Or like when John Travolta sadly passes away, they're not going to be like John Travolta star of Swordfish. They're going to be John Travolta star of Look Who's Talking, obviously.
Obvious.
But a long way of saying, I pretty much agree with Smith. Like I was like, am I going to give this like a 0 or something like appalling? Is it going to be that bad? It's a 3. It's like yeah, all right. There's a little bit of charm to it in the worst possible way. I really do like the TVR being in it, even though it makes absolutely no sense. But yes, very few redeemable qualities, and shame on you, Knowles, for making us watch this film. But thank you.
No, Knowlesy, thank you.
No, it's an interesting one to have watched. Well, not necessarily watched, but to have
talked about,
slagged off. Really.
What do you guys think of Swordfish? Is that your password for your emails, Swordfish? Because if it is, you should change it now. I wonder if a load of people did that after the film. Yeah. Please get in touch. Email us. Fax us on offradarpod@gmail.com. We will not get kicked off by NIGE's mum, apparently. And
hit us up on IM. ASL?
Oh, nice. MSN us, yeah. That was around that time. And we will speak to you next time on Off Radar. God.
I love the way you had to explain that joke. Thank you, Smith, for bailing me out.
It was all misdirection, guys.
All misdirection.
We need your help. We are looking to grow Off Radar and release more and more high quality content. Please give us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your pod. And why not share with your friends and loved ones?
Help me help you.